Hey everybody, it's Jake here, and I am so excited to bring to you today our budgeting binder. And we're going to do a full walkthrough of all the details of it, just so you're familiar with it, how to use it, and we're just very, very excited to help people organize their money and their life and pursue financial freedom through this tool. And it's more than just a binder. This binder will give you instruction on what to do, but it'll also give you motivation to get there, encouragement along the way, and how to do all of the things that you need to do to pursue financial freedom in your life. So we're gonna go through this, walk through each page. So excited that you're here. Okay, so here it is, the budgeting binder. Let's go through this thing. As you can see on the cover, beautiful, destination financial freedom. This is your roadmap. So the first two pages are just a table of contents. As you can see, you're going to walk through each of the pages that are in the binder with instructions on how to use them. Use these as a reference if you need any details on what any of these pages are and how to use them. So those will be at the front of your binder. And then you can see here, the first page is just what is financial freedom. This is gonna maybe spark some ideas of what that means to you. Bottom line is we define financial freedom as the ability to use your money without stressing out about it, right? So that's where we wanna get you to. So read through this. All right, so the first couple of pages are important, and I put them in a specific order for a reason, so that we can get you on a budget that actually works. So the first step I always tell people to do, and I do this with my coaching clients as well, is to go through your past 3 months of bank and credit card statements, print them out, and categorize every single transaction. So we created this past spending tracker here you create your categories at the top. You write down each transaction amount. So say you went grocery shopping and you spent $250, so you put $250 there. So every single transaction should be categorized. And then at the very bottom, you total that, right? So that's 3 months worth of spending. And then you just divide by 3 so you can say, okay, this is what we spend on average per month in each of these categories. This is really important because then you can set a budget based on real life and not what you think you should be spending. All right, so you go through here. You can print as many of these as you need as well. You might have more than the 6 categories. You probably will. But this is a very, very important exercise. Do not skip this page. So once you've done your past spending tracker, you kind of know where you're at currently, right? You've set your starting point, and now we're going to set the destination. That's what this SMART goals sheet is. So if you look here, I use SMART, which is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. And it makes your goals attainable, not just, I wish someday. This is very, very specific. So you want to pay off your student loan, measurable. It's $24,000, right? It's attainable and relevant to your goals and how you're going to get there by using this budget. And time bound. You want to pay it off in 24 months. So you can pull that into your monthly budget. Okay, you know you need to find $1,000 a month to pay off this student loan in 24 months, right? So you go through and talk about those big goals that you want to get to, right? We've set your current starting point, and now this is your destination. Right? This is where you want to be. And this is the budget. So if you've got your starting point, you've got your destinations in place, now we can create the roadmap to get you from where you are to where you want to go, right? So that's what your budget is. And the way the budget works is you just put in your income at the top, your expenses at the bottom, and then you total that in your budgeted amount. And the idea is to spend less than you earn, right? And use that extra money toward those goals that we talked about, right? So you can see here I put in his pay, her pay, $2,500. And then we just went through a couple of bills and some daily expenses. But the idea here is you start with your income, you minus all your expenses, you put your total at the bottom and at the top here, right? So your total income minus your total expenses is how much you can actually save per month. And the goal is, let's get this as big as possible. One key caveat, please use those numbers that you ended up with in the past spending tracker. You want to budget based on real life and not try to drastically change something. So if you spend $1,000 on groceries, don't budget $500 because that budget is going to fail and you're going to be discouraged by that. So that past spending tracker category sheet is going to come in handy here. I recommend just taking those averages and plugging them into this budget, because that's what you're already doing. And then you can pick maybe one or two places. Hey, we can cut here, we can cut there. And then you can start to track those things. I've also got a whole blog post called How to Start a Budget. You just go to iheartbudgets.net, look for how to start a budget. Right at the top there, it says start a budget. You can read the details, and that'll give you some ideas on building this thing out. And I've also got another post on the paycheck budget. So the paycheck budget is how we started budgeting. The idea is your paycheck comes in, you say when it comes in, how much it is, and then you only put expenses that paycheck is going to pay for, right? So you want to make sure, okay, say a paycheck comes in on the 8th, between the 8th and the 22nd, when your next check comes in, what are you going to spend money on? Budget that out, right? And make sure you're not overspending. So this will keep you in line. Every time a paycheck comes in, you budget those next couple of weeks, and then that next paycheck comes in, and so on. I also have an entire post on paycheck budgeting. I would check that out on the site. But this worksheet is life-changing. And again, this is how we started. So I highly recommend using this worksheet. And then for either of those budgets, if you have more expenses than fit on the sheet, we have an entire expenses continued worksheet here. This is just the same stuff that you're going to see over here, right? Budgeted, actual difference. So you can use this to extend those budgets. All right, and this is your daily expenses tracker. This is what I call your habit builder. This is where you're going to plug in everything you spend money on, right? This is your daily ledger. So you put in the date, where you spent it, the category, and the amount, and we want to keep a total running balance here. This is based on reality. This is how you can start your budget in the middle of the month. You just put your starting balance in and go from there. So say your starting balance was $1,500, got a couple of paychecks, boom, now it's up to $4,000, and now you're starting to spend that money. You've got rent, you've got groceries, and then you're gonna put some money into savings for Christmas, right? You can see how you just track this stuff. I recommend using this thing every single day. If you miss something, just spend 10 minutes at night and just fill it out. If you miss something during the week or things get too crazy, just have a weekly check-in on Sunday nights. Use this. Tracking your expenses is going to change your life in so many ways. So this is your daily expenses tracker habit builder. You might need to print, you probably will need to print a few of these. All right, so savings buckets are where you put money for infrequent expenses, right? You save up for things like Christmas, vacation, car repairs and maintenance, and all of those items. So we wanted to make it kind of fun for you. So for example, if you've got Christmas coming up, you know Christmas is always the same time every year, and it's the end of the year, so you got 12 months to save for it. So you've got your Christmas budget. You want to save $1,200 by December. So you got 12 months to get there. We created 12 sections of road on your journey to saving for Christmas. So you can see if it's $1,200, each of these little sections of road is $100. So every time you save $100, just fill it in, and you can track yourself toward those savings buckets, right? So again, Christmas, vacation, car repair. So you got a vacation coming up. It's $2,400 to go on that vacation. Each of these sections is $200. So just a fun way to track your savings. All right, so now we're going to talk about one of those goals, which is debt payoff. So we talked about that earlier in the SMART goals section. This debt snowball method, you've probably heard guys like Dave Ramsey talk about it. I'm a big proponent of this. It just keeps you motivated. The idea is you start with your lowest balance debt and then go to the next lowest and higher all the way up. You put them in order that way, and then you pay them off in that order. So all your extra money, you call it the snowball amount. So that monthly savings at the end of your budget, you're going to put that in here, and then you add that to that minimum payment that you're already paying on this debt, and that's your total payment. So you put $500 on this credit card till it's paid off. As soon as this thing's paid off, you can see you check the box. That $500 now gets put on top of credit card number 2's minimum payment, right? So now you got $740 here to pay this card off very quickly. This one, you check the box, you get to the next card, and you can see it's starting to snowball, right? By the time you get to your student loans, you're paying $1,300 a month on these things. You're going to knock them out quick. And then guess what happens to that money once you're debt free? That is wealth building money, right? So the debt snowball, powerful, simple, and works. I highly recommend if you have multiple debts, use this worksheet. And again, you can take those debts and you can split them into our destination debt payoff fun worksheet here to kind of track yourself. And again, another fun way to just keep track visually of your progress. So we've got 100 squares here. The idea is take your total debt amount, divide it by 100, and that's how much each square is. And every time you pay off that amount, you fill a square in. So if you had $10,000 debt for something, each square is worth $100. Every time you pay $100 on that debt, fill out a square until you have summited the mountain and paid off your debt. So we really like this worksheet. And we did a very similar thing for savings. So say you have savings goals as well. You want that vacation or a new car, right? Say a $10,000 new car. You put that in here, each square is worth 100. Fill it out as you go. Once you get to the end, boom, go buy a new car, right? Very, very motivating to visually see that progress. All right, and once you are out of debt and you are really starting to get heavy into investing, I highly recommend the Roth IRA. It's one of my favorite accounts, but we created a tracker for that. As of 2020, you can invest up to $6,000 per person per year. So based on like bi-weekly budgeting, which a lot of people have paid on, we created 26 sections here for your 26 paychecks of the year. I recommend just putting something in it every paycheck. And this is a way you can track those deposits, right? So every paycheck, you say when you got paid and how much you invested. And the nice thing is at the end, you can see, okay, how much did I invest total? Am I there at the 6,000 yet? Do I want to try to push and get there at the end of the year? You can also put in your ending account balance of that Roth IRA so you can actually see your investment growth. And then any other investment that you want to keep track of in that same way, we just created a generic investment tracker, same thing, just put it in, how much you invested, and you can see the growth at the end of the year. And then this was a request from someone, and I thought it was a fantastic idea. So you can set a goal for your annual income. You know, the goal is always, well, let's make some more this year, right? So put in your goal amount and then track it. And at the end of the year, did you hit that goal? Did you exceed that goal, right? So anytime you get paid, just put it in, how much you got paid each month, total that out. So that includes not only your jobs, but say you got some side hustle income, side jobs, or you know, whatever extra money that comes in, put all of those things here. Just a great snapshot of your entire year of income. And we did the same thing on your bills. So not all bills are due monthly or the exact same. Sometimes they're every other month or every 3 months or 6 months. So this is just a great way to visually see, okay, when are these bills due? And then as you pay them, just check them off. So this is a sort of an annual view of all of those bills you have to pay. And then this is another handy tracker. So if you donate throughout the year, whether that's cash donations or Goodwill or thrift stores, right? This is a place where you can take all of those donations, put them in and total them. So we put it together where you just put the date in, the item, what the thrift value of that thing is, and where you did it. And then we wanted to create this checkbox. Did you grab the receipt? Because you need that for tax purposes. So as you go through and total it throughout the year, make sure you check those boxes come tax time so that you can get your deductions. Okay, and here is our gift planner. We wanted to make it simple and a great way to check off those people on your list of gifts to buy. So the idea is you put who the gift is for, right? You create your list of people, say it's a Christmas list, how much you budgeted for that person, how much you actually spent, and then you want a section for gift ideas, and then you just check off the box once you bought for them. So you can see, we wanted to get mom a sweater, it was $30, and you know what, we actually got it for $27, it was on sale. So we checked that box, boom, mom's taken care of. So use this to track your gifts. This is really, 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 really practical and helpful. And then same thing, say you have a Christmas party, for example. We wanted to put together a party expenses planner. We love throwing parties and we always wanted to do that in a frugal way. Make sure we checked all the boxes. So we put in categories like food, decor, stationery, favors, and gifts. And you can add your own categories here as well. So you create your budgeted amount at the top, and then you set that budget. And then as you go and spend money on those items, you just track them here and then say, okay, did I stay within budget? You just do the math here. Okay, I overspent, I underspent. Then you figure out, okay, if I overspent, where am I going to take that money from? All right, medical bills. They're always confusing, at least to me. Maybe I'm the only one. But we wanted to create a simple checklist where you can go through and take care of those medical bills, keep track of them. So we created the medical bills checklist here. You start with your insurance information at the top, so you don't have to go and find that card. It's all in one place. And then you just list each of your bills, when they're due, what the total is, has insurance been billed, yes, no, the company or hospital is from, what it was for, and then how much is typically covered on insurance, and what do you owe. And as soon as you pay it off, check that box. So this is a way to just knock out those medical bills and keep them organized so you know you don't miss anything. All right, and this is a really simple list of important contacts, right? Things like your work, your banks, any emergency contacts, just a simple single place where you can have all of that information, and again, not have to go dig for that information anywhere. Okay, and I'm really excited about this one. This is our bills and expenses calendar, and it's kind of a budgeting calendar as well. So the idea is you write out your month and you go through and say, okay, when are bills due? And then when do I get paid? And so you can kind of visually see, how do I split up my month, right? So let's say you get paid on the 3rd. Here's your 2 checks that come in, his and hers checks. We're going to pull out $200 and do a grocery shopping trip on Monday. We've got a couple of bills due on Tuesday, and maybe there's a few more in here. This allows you to see, okay, is this money going to cover these bills? And then you get paid again. We got your next section of bills, and then hey, this January is going to be an extra paycheck month, right? So this is just a great visual way to make sure, one, you cover everything and it's all in order, and two, that you don't miss any of those infrequent expenses. So maybe little Trevor has a birthday party on the 21st, so let's put that in there, put a budgeted amount. Or you've got an event coming up on the 29th, put that in there, put the money there. This makes sure those infrequent expenses, those events, those things that you can see visually on a calendar, you know when they're coming up, but maybe sometimes when you're just looking at the budget, you don't think about those. This will make sure you don't miss a thing. And we wanted to put some motivation in here, so we got motivational quotes on each of the months. A section where you can create some high-level goals for the month and then just take some notes. So we've got 12 whole sheets of this. It covers the entire year. This is just a great way to get organized. All right, and the bills and expenses planner is, think of it as the calendar in list form. There are people that are visual people and people that just want to see that list of bills and expenses. Again, those typical bills that are due, also those infrequent expenses and those events that are coming up. Put all of those in this list so you don't miss a thing. And these last couple of sheets are more of life organization and just helping you sort of get a bearing on what is important to you. And this is going to tie into those goals that you have, right? You are heading in a direction. Your destination is financial freedom. And so we wanted some organization here to help you get there. So schedule my day is you set just 3 things you will accomplish per day. There's some science and studies behind that, but basically set 3 goals for that day. You accomplish those things, you are more likely to do it if you just set those 3. And then you can go through and schedule your day out, right? So what time it is, what that task is, just a great way to go through and say, okay, I've got this kid's event at this time, maybe we got soccer practice, I'm gonna go do grocery shopping this evening, or whatever that is, you can schedule your day here and then just have any notes you want on the side. And then same thing for your week. This is just a zoomed out view of that day view, right? So 3 bigger goals that you want to accomplish that week, right? Keeping your focus on where you're going. And then you can go through each day and set, some specific events, what's happening. Michelle uses this to do meal planning. So we just kind of pop our meal names in here. Here's what we're doing for the week. And then you can just take some notes on the side. And that's it. That is the entire budget binder. I don't want you to be overwhelmed by this. There is a lot of worksheets in here. The idea is to just pick your favorites. Pick the ones that are going to have an impact and are important to you now and build off of that. There are different seasons, right? So maybe you're paying off debt, so you focus on those debt payoff ones. Maybe you're starting to save or invest, so you print those out and start using them. But I do highly recommend at least printing off those first few sheets to get yourself organized. And if you're it's first time getting on a budget, go to your past spending and then build a budget that is based on reality, and then set some goals that will help you get you from where you are to where you want to be. We're really excited about this budget binder. We are so excited to get it out in the world and help as many people as possible organize their money, organize their life, and get to their version of financial freedom. If you have any questions, you can find us on the website at iheartbudgets.net, or you can shoot us a message or find us on Instagram /iheartbudgets. We are happy to help in any way. Thanks.